Hey, this is Stacy from Let's Cook, y'all. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We hope you enjoy the content on our channel and you'll consider hitting that red subscribe button. We're back with a brand new week of What's for Dinner. What we had last week included one final meal using some Thanksgiving leftovers, and then we've got some new, easy, delicious meal ideas for you guys, and we had a birthday in our house this week. Stick around to the end for all of that. The first meal we have for you guys this week is using some leftover turkey meat. We did have some left from Thanksgiving. I put the rest of it in my freezer to use in December or January for another meal, but I kept about 2 cups out. I had a roll of Hawaiian Rolls. This is actually my favorite thing to do after Thanksgiving. We've been doing this for several years now. You take the Hawaiian bread and cut it lengthwise, splitting it into a top and a bottom loaf. I'll leave a link to the recipe I use. I do deviate in that I add more than the recipe calls for. We put some mayonnaise on the bottom, then the turkey, and then I did warm up the cranberry sauce in the microwave until it was loose enough to spread around. Canned jellied cranberry sauce is not very movable and workable. And then we do take some cheese. I couldn't decide between the Swiss and the Havarti I had on hand, so I asked him and he said, why don't you use both of them? So I ended up doubling up probably on the cheese, which is probably why these tasted better, we thought, than in years past. Again, I deviated from the recipe and used some grainy stone ground mustard on the top. And after I spread it out, I decided, just like with the mayonnaise on the bottom later, that more is better. So I went back and added a whole lot more stone ground mustard. And then we mixed up the topping, which is eerily reminiscent of what my sweet daddy used to do when he grilled, which is mixing up some butter and some Worcestershire sauce. And we did add some mustard and some dried onion to it to make the topping. The original recipe calls for a 9 by 13, I think, but I squeezed mine into like an 11 by 7 pan. So I did try to push them in on the sides so that the butter topping wouldn't all fall off as I spooned it on, but you get it as much as you can of it on the top. It makes them delicious. Then cover it and bake it for 20 minutes at 350. After the 20 minutes, you take it out, uncover it, and then sprinkle Parmesan cheese, and then it goes back for another 5 minutes. These are going to be messy.
Messy is code for really good.
Messy is code for soaked in butter. There's a lot of butter on top of those things.
All right. Look good?
You gonna take all 3?
Hmm?
Are you eating all 3 of those? Or are we going?
You make all 3 sound like a lot.
For tonight's meal, I pulled out the vegetables I had on hand, which is my current favorite combination. I chopped up some zucchini, quartered some baby bella mushrooms, and diced some onions. For the entree, I still had some imitation crab meat on hand, so I chopped that up, got some water boiling, and added some fettuccine. The original recipe calls for 1 stick of butter. We're going to cut it down, start with a half. I might go back and add some more. We will melt that, add some garlic and some flour, and start making a roux. I always use my flat whisk when I'm making sauces or gravies or a roux. For some reason, for me, it works better than a regular ball whisk to get all in the corners. I do add the flour a little bit at a time and cook it for a while. We need to get that flour or pasty taste out, and then start slowly adding the milk. Cook the sauce a little bit until it starts to thicken, and then season to taste. I use salt, white pepper, and Parmesan cheese. The original recipe calls for a 1/3 cup. You want it to be thick, and it's okay if it's a little stringy, and we'll start adding in the crab when it's about ready. For the vegetables, I always heat the pan first and then add the oil. I add the vegetables that are hardest, that take the longest to cook, so the zucchini and the onions first. I had not added the full amount of milk to the beginning, and I did end up adding a little bit more. It's just to your taste. I tasted the sauce, thought it needed a little more. I added another dash of white pepper and a dash of garlic powder. Just season yours the way you like. till it tastes good, because the pasta is really going to soak up the sauce. So instead of fettuccine alfredo with chicken or shrimp, both of which we showed on the channel, we have done fettuccine alfredo with crab. Quick and easy. In the old days, I would have served pasta with a salad and some garlic bread, Texas toast, but we are trying to avoid the bread. I made a quick fall harvest salad. This one has cheddar walnut and gala apples on it. And bypassing the bread, we just sauteed some vegetables with spices and a little soy or liquid aminos. We will fix our plates. Tim has already been in here raving about how good it smells, so that is what's for dinner tonight. And quick and easy salad with some fried chicken strips, French fries. That's what's for dinner tonight.
Finger looking good?
So it's not KFC.
Okay.
But if you want to lick your fingers, that is fine by me.
I think I will.
Awesome. That's what's for dinner tonight. I'm still missing going to my favorite Chinese restaurant, so I do a lot of Asian at home, but I found this marked down at Kroger. It's a pad thai noodle kit. It gave a couple of different protein options, but I just took out one chicken breast, cut the fat off, and cut it into chunks. I got some water going on the stovetop and added the noodles from the little box. I did mute the timer where I told my Echo unit to set a noodle timer for 7 minutes, but I know not everyone enjoys those, so I did mute it for you guys. In my big wok, I got some canola oil going and scrambled an egg to begin with, as the kit instructed on the box. In my small wok, I put a little bit of oil and started some broccoli cooking. Once the egg was scrambled, I removed it, added a little more oil, and started to saute the cut up chicken breasts. I decided to flavor the broccoli with some of this leftover soyaki, which is like a soy teriyaki from Trader Joe's. The easiest way for me to tell that chicken is done when I'm stir frying it is to take my spatula and cut one piece. If it's cooked all the way through, then I know that they're probably most of them cooked, because I do try to cut them into mostly uniform pieces. I could have used an instant read thermometer, but this is the easiest way for me. Still following the box instructions, I took the rice noodles and added them, and then the packet of sauce. I should have supplemented with some other seasonings, but I assumed that a processed packaged thing like this had enough seasoning in it. I was mistaken. I did add some fresh bean sprouts I had to hunt all over town for, and the scrambled egg. A quick and easy one thanks to this pad thai kit that I got marked down. I added a chicken breast and some bean sprouts and scrambled egg to it. I will leave the chopped peanuts off. Tim's not real fond of it. We actually have a crock pot or slow cooker Thai chicken that's similar to this. He doesn't like the peanuts on it, so I know to leave them off when he gets here. Some quick size egg rolls from the air fryer. Sauteed some broccoli and added a little bit of soyaki I'm still trying to use up, and some edamame steamed. Got a quick Asian meal. We'll fix our plates. That's what's for dinner tonight. Going to make us some buttermilk waffles. This is my base recipe that I usually use. Works really well. I have 1 cup of regular buttermilk, and I took the other ½ cup and soured it with lemon juice. So 1½ cups of buttermilk, 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 4 eggs, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, and we're going to mix the eggs and the buttermilk and the butter, and the dry ingredients with the 1 3/4 cup of flour is 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, a tablespoon each of baking powder and sugar,
a half a teaspoon of salt, and surprisingly, my original recipe does not call for vanilla, but I always add it.
And this was almost a catastrophe and would have ended up at the blooper reel at the end, but I did make it work. It did not overflow once I added all the liquid ingredients. We'll mix up the dry, make a well in the center, and then add the wet ingredients. I do spray my waffle iron with cooking spray, and then I use a 1/4 cup measure. Every waffle iron's different, but this works for mine, and they take about 4 to 5 minutes, and they come out nice, brown, and crispy.
Are you going to flip them?
I will.
I've decided the flipping is a fun thing, but it spatters grease all over my cooktop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, because you got to clean it up.
Oh, okay.
I asked him this morning if he would have oatmeal for breakfast so that we could have breakfast for dinner, and I promised to make him homemade buttermilk waffles. And he's got some hot Jimmy Dean sausage, and he fried him some eggs. And are you happy?
Except for my egg catastrophe.
Oh, it'll be fine. And we got some butter and syrup and waffles. Breakfast is what's for dinner tonight.
Somebody had a birthday in our house. He was very sweet, and I got the selfie stick out. We took a couple pictures. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
It is someone's birthday around here, and we have birthday rules. You get to pick what you want for your birthday. If you can't tell, it's Tim's in November. He picked the barbecue, even though we just had it from his favorite barbecue joint. Ribs and pulled pork. Pretty much, I think it's exactly what we got last time. And he will have cake as soon as it cools.
Normally for our birthdays we go out. I get Chinese. Tim always likes a steak, but we're still not eating out at restaurants. So for his other choice over the weekend, he picked a burger from the grill at his golf course. They make a really good burger. So he had a burger and fries, and I had a club sandwich and sweet potato fries. It was delicious.
For Tim's birthday this year, rather than his favorite chocolate cake that I will leave a link for, it's a 9x13 sheet pan. It has buttermilk both in the cake and in the frosting, and it's delicious. I normally make that, but I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to take a cake mix and beef it up according to the Cake Mix Doctor. I pulled out a very old, well-used, dog-eared cookbook, and I'm going to make her darn good chocolate cake with a Devil's Food cake mix, some chocolate chips, warm water, chocolate pudding mix, 4 eggs, a cup of sour cream, and a half a cup of vegetable, or I'm using canola oil. The only thing I'm deviating from is, rather than spraying the bundt pan with cooking spray and then putting flour in it, I dusted it with cocoa since it is a chocolate cake. So I'm going to whip this one up really quick and get it going in the oven for the birthday boy. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. Bake at 350 for about 45 to 50 minutes.
I checked it at 45 minutes. I could tell it had a spot where it wasn't quite ready. The toothpick came out with crumbs, so I put it back for about 5 or 6 minutes until the toothpick came out with no crumbs clinging to it. I cut Tim a piece once it cooled. I dusted mine with powdered sugar. I think this cake is rich enough all on its own. Tim did not. We did eat one piece, and then he told me.
Tim's birthday cake is a little plain. I put powdered sugar on mine, but he asked for a chocolate frosting. It's going to basically turn into a death by chocolate cake. But I have everything on hand to make the one that I normally make, which is the one on the back of the Hershey's cocoa box. I've been making it for about 20 years. I've melted the butter. We're going to add the cocoa, 3 cups of powdered sugar, some milk, and a little bit of vanilla. And turn this darn good chocolate cake into an even better, darner, gooder, better chocolate cake.
This puppy was rich, but it made him happy, and the two of us, yes, polished off the entire cake this week. This was a rough week for me, both with the camera, with myself and my mouth, so here's some bloopers. I'm sorry. Oh.
How?
Cut that. Since you're here and your favorite color is blue, you can hit it.
Was it already recording?
I didn't think so. If I was, cut it off.
It's not.
Voiceover. Oh, that's sticking. I'm not going to use that. Just pan around with that one for me.
With honey mustard, chicken strip salad, grilled chicken, quick little fried chicken,
That ain't no KFC salad.
quick salad. I can't. Salad with some fried crispy. Golly, cut. Quick and easy salad with some fried chicken strips, French fries. That's what's for dinner tonight.
Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care. Have a wonderful and truly blessed day.